Hi, welcome to Debbie's Book Vlog. If you're a dog lover, you're going to want to grab a seat and listen to the books I have to review this week because I've decided to focus on man's best friend, and that's 3 books about dogs. The first one, Until Tuesday, extremely touched my heart. It's a story about how 2 wounded warriors who had given so much and suffered the consequences met and shared their lives together. It's a story about war and peace, injury and recovery, psychological wounds and spiritual restoration. But more so, it's about a love of a man and a dog and how they helped heal each other's lives. Tuesday is a service dog who learned 140 commands. And it's absolutely a wonderful story of how these 2 individuals met and how they helped serve each other. Wonderful read. Nicholas Dodman is a veterinarian who's written several books. Now, the first book, The Dog Who Loved Too Much, is one of his first original books he wrote a couple years ago. But I had to include it because I really like some of the training tips and the things that he brought into the book, and how it kind of makes you feel a little bit different about your dog and about your pet. The book starts out explaining how there's something about taking your dog to a behaviorist that embarrasses most owners. They're often very reluctant to ask for advice and afraid somehow of how they might feel. In order to make a diagnosis, it'll be based on clinical observation, the history, and sometimes lab tests involving the dog. Then giving treatment advice to help correct the problem. Sometimes owners unwittingly contribute to the dog's behavior problems by sending them the wrong message. You know, if you're somebody who can't manage a teenage child, you're probably not going to manage your dog either. Are you anxious? Do you have an anxious dog? Are you an aggressive person? Do you have an aggressive dog? Perhaps you give inappropriate praise to your dog and maybe you just don't even realize it. Owners' personalities can often influence their pet. This book, The Dog Who Loves Too Much, addresses aggressive dogs, dogs that you think have Jekyll and Hyde types of personalities, dominant dogs and their characteristics, fearful dogs, dogs with separation anxiety, dogs afraid of thunderstorms, and dogs that have licking and pee problems. And the thing I really like about this is he has some very unique insight into how to help you work with your pet to resolve some of these problems. Pets on the Couch is a new release by veterinarian Nicholas Dodman here in 2016. Really unique perspective at looking at how we can use pharmaceuticals to help treat some of our pets' behaviors and disorders. I'd kind of like to start with the passage here in the beginning of the book. Are animals like us? Or are we like them? Do they have intelligence? Do they even have emotions? Can they suffer as we do? Most people who live with pets would answer these questions in the affirmative, just like most veterinarians would. Deep in their hearts, people who routinely work with livestock and farm animals would also agree, even though they might be loath to admit it, since their jobs may depend on ignoring such hard truths. But there's one group that stubbornly resists acknowledging the validity of such propositions. Powerful sectors of the scientific community want to deny those things that seem perfectly obvious to lay people. The real scientists inform us that we must interpret animal behaviors and use terms rather than attributing what we see to higher brain functions. What do you think? In Dr. Dodman's research, he supports the concept of one medicine, the medical commonalities between humans and animals, but he truly didn't realize how controversial this thought process really was going to be. You know, can we use the same medicines and medications for some of the same disorders in our pets, in our animals. Lily definitely takes a look at that in this particular book, Pets on the Couch. This book is going to focus on some of the drug treatments for dogs with post-traumatic stress disorder, separation anxiety, seizures, epilepsy, autism, rage, sadness, jealousy, OCD, and licking disorders. You know, is some of this caused by DNA? Is it genetics? Or is it caused by the owner themselves? Great questions that he takes a look at. Some animals are born with genetic tendencies to develop behavior problems, and some animals have the behaviors instilled in them by the owner. Well, thanks for joining Debbie's book vlog this week and our focus on dog books this week. And I hope you have a chance to find my channel again. Feel free to subscribe and like below, and I'll enjoy seeing you in another video.